Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's time for Coffee Ann on ON Radio, just like the man said, Wednesday morning, August the 20th, in the year 2025. I'm Joe Callahan. Thanks for coming along with us. Tim Draper's here from Navigant Credit Union. There's
Good.
Tim.
It was an empty chair. I've been called that a few times.
An empty chair?
An empty suit, actually.
How are you, Tim?
I'm good, Joe. Thanks.
Good, good. And John Ward is here. Good morning, John.
Good morning, everyone.
And Melissa Smith of the St. Antoine Communities could not be with us this week. She wasn't sure if she was going to be able to send Robin in her place, but Robin has not arrived yet. But maybe she'll arrive at any point. So.
Must be doing all the accounting from the golf tournament.
That's so true. The first segment sponsor of Coffee Ann is the St. Antoine Communities out there in North Smithfield. So to start things off, very happy. As I'm driving in today, looks like things are moving along with the DOT, 295 south.
Yeah.
To get onto 146 to go north.
Yep.
No more orange barrels. No more get into the left-hand lane, into the center lane to take a right.
Also on Diamond Hill Road.
Victory.
Also on Diamond Hill,
Menden Road. That started that started at the beginning of the week.
Yep.
And now we have. Let's hope it stays.
Completed bridges.
How about that? And I've been over the one on Menden Road. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. They're just going to
nice.
finish paving that area.
But they're still working underneath it. They're down on the ground doing stuff. So
sealing up all those bolts and stuff they have.
I guess.
You should give Peter Alvidi another raise.
Well, there's an idea. All right, we gotta bring this up right off the bat because I did. For you guys, it's embarrassing because you guys live in Rhode Island.
You can't embarrass
because I
me.
live in Massachusetts. It's just outside.
It's
just funny.
I'm an AG.
It's the AG. It's the assistant AG, Devon Hogan Flanagan. I go. This is just hysterical. And channel 6, 10, 12, they all had it. And then Ed Crew tells me, it's made it to Boston. And I watched the video from the New York Post website. I said, we're nationwide.
Yeah.
Fox Laura Ingraham had it on her show.
All right, it's nationwide, huh?
Gutfeld had it on his show at 10 o'clock, and he ran easily 10 minutes of it. He kept replaying the video because it was so hilarious.
Yes.
And what they really made fun of
is
was
our friend?
the boyfriend or husband or whatever.
Oh, he's funny.
The guy who was
worry,
saying, I'm here.
I'm right here.
I'm right here. I'm right here. It's like, when was the point where if that was her friend, he simply, when the police arrived and they started getting argumentative, you sort of get between them, put your arms around the waist, pick them up and walk away and say, sorry, officer,
yeah,
and just move.
And he didn't do that at all.
This idiot was sitting there, standing back saying, I'm right here, I'm right here.
I think, you got to watch it quickly, I think the police tell him to back away or move back, or so he stepped back because he wasn't arrested.
Yeah.
And but he did keep telling his wife to calm down, which always works.
Was it her husband?
Yes. Well, it's not Flanagan's husband. It was the other crazy lady.
The crazier lady.
It was a crazier lady.
The one that was kicking and screaming and getting into the car.
Trying to keep the
door open. That was funny too. So Peter Nerona.
My only comment on Facebook was, at least they weren't screaming, I can't breathe.
No one said that. No one said, do you know who I am? But they came pretty close to that.
Pretty close.
Right up to the edge. But didn't
She's
say
a lawyer,
that. I heard that.
You're going to regret this.
I heard her say that. What else was there? I'm requesting you to shut off your body cam.
Yeah.
Because I've asked you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're being investigated for a crime. I don't think they can. You have the option.
No.
I mean, if you're, my understanding is if you're being interviewed about something, you can ask to have the camera turned off.
Okay, but if you're the suspect.
But if you're the suspect, you don't.
It's not going to happen.
What a great piece to make a commercial to bring to high schools to talk to kids about the effects of drinking.
See, when I first saw it, I didn't think she didn't look drunk. She didn't act drunk.
Well, sure sounded it.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't so sure, but Peter Nerona came out and said, "Looks like alcohol was involved."
Yeah, you think?
I think it's so funny, and
alcohol and lobster tails.
Yeah. So he says, how embarrassing, how humiliating for first of all for his office,
yeah,
and then for her, and she's remorseful. If you haven't read that part
No,
yet. Yes, she
really?
is. And she's supposed to apologize to the Newport police.
Does it take
No,
that
no.
long to go? Geez, I am so sorry. That
Well, you
was
got to
very
be now. You got to
uncharacteristic.
sober up.
In
first of all.
order to get through her suspension from her job,
Yes.
she will probably be required to apologize to the Newport police
Well,
in
she-
writing,
Yes.
cleared by the Attorney General if he has any kind of sense about how to run personnel.
Now nothing's come down yet, but he's talking about suspension, but don't know for how long. Do you think she keeps her job?
Yeah.
You think Tim? Yeah.
He hired back somebody who was in a DUI accident
already.
and-
Was he?
and he's already
So he's
done
done-
it.
so
He's
there's
already
precedent.
got precedence.
Okay.
His excuse is that he can't find good lawyers.
Because of his
Well, she doesn't
lack
seem
of
to be
integrity in operating his office, I think.
I guess.
She doesn't seem to be a very
He
good
didn't.
lawyer if she doesn't know the body cam laws.
Well, there's some conversation about there that's what she was saying. I'm an AG for was that she was trying to say I know those laws and you have to turn your body camera off, and the cop was like no.
And, the
And you didn't
interesting-
interpret the law very well either.
The
'cause it's
interesting
not-
thing is, I believe her job is not as a prosecutor, but that she handles appeals
Okay.
for the prosecutor's office when someone appeals their decision
Yeah.
up to a higher court, which means, she would be the one that would actually know the exactness of the law that people would be basing their appeals on, and so to not know the basic laws about cameras would say something about her.
before this
skill
happened, she
set.
was apparently pretty well respected in the office and in the courts and at the bar,
Okay.
according to sources.
Oh yeah, it's just drunk
Mm-hmm.
does that to you.
Yeah.
Some
Get
people
stupid fast.
some people get stupid. Some people get loud. Some people get happy. Some people get depressed, and some people just get belligerent.
So do you is this a mea culpa, and you pay a price, and then you go back to where the way it was, or is there a bigger issue with I'm an AG and the image that portrays of the I know a guy state,
That's right.
because that's really what this sounds like. Is I know a
Yeah.
guy.
Or I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
First of all,
Right.
she's not.
Yeah, it really
She's
wasn't.
not Peter Norman.
No, I know.
It really wasn't. Do you know who I am? It was more about I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it didn't work. And so since like I said, I saw it on the New York Post website. Of course, people are commenting, and you're going to make an assumption they're mostly from New York. She's got to go. She's got to be fired.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of people
There's
around
no
here
way
saying that.
they should keep her on. This is terrible.
I'm
So we'll see what Peter does. But
Yeah.
and if he does decide to run for governor, do you see his opponents using this?
Oh yeah, this is in
Against
somebody's
him?
file already.
Already
waiting to
hang
go.
on to it.
Yep.
Don't lose it
Yep.
because we're going to use
Peter
some of it.
Nerone is going to, I don't know if he's planning on running for a statewide office, but he's got no friends in Woonsocket for the fact that he sued us for $2.9 million on the waste going into
Right.
the river.
Well, that's one
And he's
community,
not
so-
letting it go.
No,
That's the
okay.
problem. I don't think he's being helpful in us getting to the conclusion of this. He's actually acting as a roadblock from while I was on the council.
Wow.
Now
All right.
I'm sure loyal Democrats will frame it as him having done wonderful things to assist us in getting out of the mess, but the fact is he has done nothing but damage to the community and wasting a lot of time doing things that we should not have to worry about.
So maybe he won't campaign up this way.
Well, if you're running statewide, you sort of need the votes.
Well, you do, but
Of course, if you got the lemmings in Providence, Tucket, and Central Falls coming to do what they're told, and the busloads that vote only when they're advised and are given a brief relationship with Abraham Lincoln, then yeah, I guess maybe they'll have enough votes without us.
okay. Well, we'll have to see what the AG's office comes out with officially, what they do with Devon, Hogan, Flanagan, and what I also found amazing is her friend, who was terribly slight, who was slipping out of the handcuffs.
Yeah.
God, did you see
I'm
that?
like,
The
wow.
first set of handcuffs
yeah,
right out.
she's out of them. I'm like, she's a magician, but she's terribly thin.
Yeah.
And I think they must have said, get the kid's handcuffs because we're having trouble holding her because
Yeah.
she's just so
Oh,
slight.
geez.
It's like, wow,
Just a mess.
she's an attorney, you know.
She's an
Right.
AG.
She's an AG. All right.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think the friend was more drunk than the.
well, she was more she got charged with the resisting arrest where Flanagan did not.
Right.
They just got the trespass thing against her, but the other one was well, I think it came from kicking the door, not being allowed
So
to shut it.
if she got the trespassing, that's such a petty.
Willful trespass, is there a difference?
I don't know, but still petty. I mean, it's not like she was.
Oh, no, it's not a
like
felony,
she
but-
was. Yeah, but
I have a thought about how. Go ahead, finish this.
no,
I'm sorry.
it would be a shame if all of this. happens
Over
because of something
so
so small and trivial.
Yeah.
And the reality is it's probably going to be a perception decision.
Well, once you bring in on the AG, now it elevates it.
Right.
All right. Go ahead, John.
I think, in watching the interaction between the police and these two young ladies, that a good solution to be considered by police officers that are working in evenings and nights and having to encounter people who are inebriated and like that, who are irrational and trying to argue their way out of plainly something they shouldn't be doing, is about a 2-gallon bucket covered of chilled water in their car. And so when these people act up,
Just throw it
one
on
cop
them.
says to the other, get the bucket.
Yeah.
You get the bucket and you dump it over their head.
Well, that's smartening them
It
up.
will slow them down
Well,
so quickly
yeah.
that you won't get that argumentative stuff. It'll be, and the shock will, all right, cuff them, let's go.
Yeah. Assault.
It just, I would think it would change the
With a liquid
dynamic
weapon.
of the interaction so quickly and calm them, whether their body wants to or not, that, they should carry about 2 gallons of chilled water.
We brought it up yesterday. Once the once like the retail shops and restaurants, and once the owners, the managers ask you to leave, and you
must
don't,
leave. That's trespassing.
you're trespassing. And
Yes.
I don't think the general public understands that.
Yeah.
And because I told the story yesterday back in my Comp USA days.
Yeah.
We would ask people to leave, and no, they get that God-given right to stay here. They
Yeah.
said, we're going to call the police. They said, go ahead. And we would even warn them. They're really going to side with us. Go ahead. They challenge us. We call the police. Please come grab them. Okay, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Do you want them out of here? Yeah, we do. Okay, bye. And they take them away.
Yeah. Until
Happens
the
ev-
next time they walk in.
Happens every single time, and it happened here. They asked the host, the guy outside.
Oh, yeah, they checked with him.
You want us to? What you want us to take? Are they trespassing? Yes. Okay, we'll take care of it from here.
This was first-class, high-quality police work, frankly.
It was. I saw that in the post for the New York Post. Congratulations for the police.
Yeah.
Did everything right.
Yeah.
And these guys should be promoted because
Yeah.
they did everything right.
Yeah.
So
they,
well.
they treated her like everybody else, not the I know a guy. And quite honestly, it makes me really sympathetic to what the police have to go through on a
Yeah.
regular, because that's not a unique situation for them. That's probably an easier situation
Far
than some
too
of the
often,
stuff
I'm
they,
sure.
Right. It's probably something that they have to deal with constantly.
Well, it's almost on an everyday basis. But I have a friend. His son is a Rhode Island state trooper. And, of course, his son talks to his dad all the time about the job when he goes on. He says, and his boy, he goes, dealing with the women is so much more difficult than dealing with the men. And you just saw why.
Yeah.
They're screaming no, they're kicking,
Yeah.
they
Well,
want to get away.
And then, of course, you got those that it's like you're a male cop and you put your hand down their arm and it's like, don't touch me.
Get
Yeah.
your hand. That's right. And it's like, now it becomes a whole nother thing. But anyway, all right, we're going to take our first break here on the Coffee Ant program. More coming your way. A reminder that the first segment of Coffee Ant has been sponsored by the St. Anton Communities in North Smithfield.
And they're
This is ON Radio.
You will always find great homemade food at one of the best restaurants in the Blackstone Valley, Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street in Woonsocket. They're open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week beginning at 6 a.m. and on Fridays they're open for dinner until 7 p.m. You can always get breakfast all day long at Missy's Family Restaurant. And don't forget about their award-winning Dynamites. Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street in Woonsocket.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Tim Draper and John Ward. Well, I don't have that good criminal mind, so maybe you can enlighten me on this.
So why are you asking us?
Well, maybe you can enlighten me. So,
I go to John and I and says, I don't have a good criminal mind. How about you?
So we got that 18-year-old woman in Attleboro, in Rehoboth, and her body was found.
Yeah.
And they have arrested the 22-year-old boyfriend. Now, from what I've read, if this is all true, if he did kill her, he's also the person that called the police to report her missing. Now, here comes back to the criminal mind. If any of us kill somebody, why are we calling the police to report them missing? Is it to try to push suspicion away from us?
Yes,
Yeah,
because I think
so.
I think
Is that the
a
only thing?
South Carolina mom who killed her kids did that one time.
The
Or
two kids
someone
in
down
the
south,
oh
some
yeah,
woman who had killed her own kids.
yeah, they had him in the back seat of the car.
All the parents.
Well, they said someone else did it.
And they but they're the ones that reported them missing, sort of to take away attention from them, as though why would we report it if we
did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Kylie Montero, her human remains were found yesterday in the home of 22-year-old Gregory Groom in Rehoboth, right on the Attleboro line, by the way.
Was it in the home or did he bury her? I thought he buried her.
It just says, well, we got it just in the home.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know. She's been missing since last August 7th. Police searched his home yesterday, said remains consistent with Montero were found, and he's being held without bail. He was being arrested and charged with assaulting her, and then they found the remains.
I wonder if it's one of those cases of they were in a fight, he did something,
And she died.
she died, and then he panicked and went, oh my God, what do I do? I'm going to bury her.
I would think there's a good possibility that many situations like that, where it's more of a domestic assault, where the punch is too hard, the person hits their head on something, things just go wrong, fall down the stairs, whatever.
Yep.
They try running away and they slam into something and get hurt or go into the road. Yeah, that can. I would imagine that happens more than is admitted. But I think that'll show up in what level of charges there are.
Yeah.
If he can try to explain it in a way that they can recreate it and it makes sense, where it maybe was not intentional, then he might just get some level of manslaughter. Some charges.
It was, I don't know if he told the police, but
did
she
say
was 11 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of the argument.
I wonder.
I'm telling you, and you're the dad.
You're going to get an abortion. No, I'm not. You're going to get an abortion.
It could have
No, I'm
gone
not.
that way, or I'm not taking care of the kid at all. I'm leaving. I don't know. There's 1,000 different explanations.
Right.
Maybe
I think
that
the
he could have
autopsy
come with.
however she expired will be interesting to add to the case.
Yep, but sad situation all the way around
Yeah.
in that area of
Sounds to me like
Massachusetts.
her parents not around. It sounds to me like they might have passed.
I haven't heard. I don't know.
Thought I heard
She
that on
just
the news, like she
graduated
had
from
no mother, no
Attleboro
father.
High
Yeah.
this past
She gets
June.
sisters, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, because they were looking for her.
I
That's
saw
that's
another
right.
story that all I read was the headline, but it sounds like I read something about somewhere where there were 4 family members found dead, 2 kids, 2 adults.
That was New Hampshire.
That was a
This is
murder,
bizarre.
suicide, and a toddler was still alive and left
Yes,
alive.
and that makes no sense. It is a murder suit in Madbury, New Hampshire. I'm not quite sure where it is, but yeah, I read that yesterday. They're considering murder suicide. So the mom, dad, 2 kids, don't have the ages, but they decided whoever did the shooting not to shoot the toddler, which makes really no sense because if the bodies are not found, guess what? Toddler's going to die eventually of a more lingering death.
Yeah.
Maybe they called 911 before they killed themselves. I don't know.
Just-
So they know that the youngest one
Would be
will
taken
survive.
care of by
yeah.
who, though?
Foster,
Grandparents, I guess?
foster parents. Yeah. Yeah, that took place in New Hampshire yesterday. Another.
What is wrong with the world?
I don't know.
Reminds me of that court declaration by Al Pacino.
What was
There's
that?
something really wrong going on here.
Yeah.
And and why are you taking out the? I'm going to assume it's the dad. Why are you taking out the wife and the 2 kids? Why don't you just take out yourself and just that's
Well,
it?
we've had a couple of those cases in Rhode Island, in Cumberland.
Yeah, I know.
And you ask the same question. Why?
Why are you taking out the family?
Right.
We don't understand. So, all right. Moving on to other things.
Brighter topics?
No, well, sort of. But John, what do you make of
channel
this?
my inner Melissa.
Well.
It was just 3 months ago
Put him in
that Governor Dan McKee hired his campaign manager. It is 3 months later, and they just come out and say, we've decided to part ways.
Well, you know what?
What's the story?
I expect that is a campaign manager that was dealing in reality. And, of course, he ran up against Mike Traynor, who is in the bubble of, no, all things we do are perfect and great, and therefore you will do what we think is right. And he said...
But he's the expert. He's the one
he
coming from
said-
out of state.
And he said, I'm telling you, you're wrong. And they said, no,
Tough.
we're right. And he said, bye.
Okay.
I think this is a pure... Dan McKee is determined to run no matter what, and Traynor is there to yell at people who don't believe that he's the second coming. And this manager is a practical man who said, no, you have problems, and you need to overcome them. And they didn't see eye to eye, and this guy just said, I don't need this crap, and left.
I love the quote, we have mutually agreed to part ways, and both sides wish each other well.
No, they didn't.
No?
There were F-bombs going
Flying all over the
place.
State House?
Yeah, FUs on
Yeah.
the way out the door, all
Wow.
the way. No doubt about it.
All right, the governor...
That's
That was
code.
classic PR spin.
It is
That's
classic PR
code
spin.
for we were screaming at each other, calling each other names as we parted company.
all right.
We wish you well in your future endeavors.
And by
That's
the
my
way,
favorite
that
line.
manager has connections to national political leaders in the Democrat Party.
Rob Silverstein.
And- yeah, including.
Well, that's right.
Including, he was the manager for the governor of New York.
New
I
York,
believe.
campaign manager.
Well, she's not exactly a lightweight in national Democrat politics,
Yeah.
so he's got a little more gravitas, as it were, in campaigning.
That's why I thought it was a good move by McKee to bring him in, because he's got
Yeah,
national
you think?
exposure.
We'll see if Helena picks him up.
Except his
Well, that would be
the
funny.
problem with somebody like that is they tend to deal in reality.
Well, yeah,
and I think
this is the way it is.
I think McKee is dealing in fantasy about his popularity, and I think he's
Okay.
about to have his losing him. I think you may find all of the institutional support among the unions, among all of the
Go
heavy
away.
hitters with the money, may fade away, and other people will come
Yikes.
in to close the gap, especially with the poor performance of his fundraising compared to the other potential candidates.
Yeah.
In the last cycle, where he didn't look so good, and the 19%, though he says it's phony, yeah, it may have gone up, but it's nowhere near strong. It's
Okay.
a very weak polling that he's doing, and frankly, he keeps dancing around,
Subjects?
honestly dealing with the tough subjects, and he, every time someone calls him out on the bridge still, there's never been a day of reckoning. And all he wants to talk about is what a great job they've done in recovering and tearing down the bridge and getting the contract. That's like, you've never held anybody accountable for what you did
Not
to
yet.
get there.
Yeah. He keeps saying that's coming.
He's lame.
Okay. But I guess, smart, Rob Silverstein, smart guy, it took him 3 months. It's like, this is just going nowhere.
Which is actually very quick.
I think that's
Yes.
what he didn't. That's also the part of it that you have to look at is, did he want to associate himself with what he knew to be a losing campaign?
This will, yeah.
Those guys
they
like
wanna
to be
do-
on the winning side when
Well,
they
right.
join a campaign. So
So-
he might be going to somewhere else and
Go to another state?
Somewhere
Yeah.
else, I think somebody like him would work real well, and I hope he could convince him. If you remember 2 years ago when we were talking about who the Democrats could run, or a year ago, whenever it was, and I kept talking about Andy Beshear, whose name keeps coming up more and more and more and more as the guy that's a Democrat that runs a Republican state as governor, got reelected in a Republican state as governor, and is the more centrist, moderate candidate like a Bill Clinton, except maybe he doesn't have sex with interns in the office. But
Is that wrong?
he's a more he's a more.
Was that wrong?
They didn't think so at the time.
Sorry.
But he's the more moderate Democrat, practical Democrat, and if someone like Silverstein latches on to someone like him
Yeah.
to do some presidential campaigning, if they can convince him to actually throw his hat into the ring and do something, actually, I would like to see Beshear running against who's the governor of Virginia,
I don't know.
Youngkin. No.
You were just there.
Is that-
But I would like to see those two governors run against each other for president.
Okay. All right, well, Rob Silverstein's out. We'll see where he lands next. We had the story about a couple of weeks ago. There was a body that washed up ashore in Jamestown, on one of the beaches down there.
I read about that.
Yep, but Jamestown police said no foul play.
Will you find a name to attach to it?
Not yet. The man's identity and the cause of death have not. You got it right.
The governor of Virginia.
The man's identity and the cause of death have not been released. The body was found by a swimmer on August 10th. They say the body appeared to be that of a man between 60 and 70 years old, but nothing appears to be suspicious just yet, at all. So,
no identification yet.
Not yet.
Can you imagine being a swimmer and you
Come across a body?
swim up to a place and come across a body?
Yeah.
It's been in the water for any
scary.
amount of time.
How long have so all the news broadcasts are saying right now, don't go near the jetties, don't go in the water, the tides, the currents, the hurricane, blah, 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 blah. Watch how many people go down to the water,
they rush,
onto the jetties.
They rush down.
I mean, it's like...
And the surfers, all the surfers, they're all going to be out there.
But at least they have a surfboard. They can float. I mean, you see people standing
on the rocks
that are slippery to begin with, and then the waves come over
crashing
and they
over
get
you.
smashed into the, and then they're like, "Oh, what happened?"
They got washed out to sea. We didn't know this was going to happen.
It's almost as stupid as actually, it's more stupid than getting drunk in Newport and saying I'm an AG. Because you could lose your life doing that.
I wonder how many people are just going to laughingly say that when they go to that. I can't remember the name of it. The Clock House. Clock House restaurant. I'm an AG. Can I have a table? Oh. No, that'll be funny.
How about a sign outside? If you're an AG, you can't have it.
You're not welcome here.
On Gutfeld, one of the comedians there said, and she's not even an AG. She's an AAG.
That's right. That's right. She's a special AG or whatever. Well, so the strike's over at Butler Hospital. They overwhelmingly ratified the offer.
I wonder what happened there.
Golf clap.
I wonder what happened there, because the management basically said this is our best and final offer.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, the union goes no, that we don't like that. We're not going to take it. Who caved in the? I don't want to say caved, but what was the negotiation from this is our best and final to okay, now we're settled after they had said no?
It doesn't say.
I wonder if we'll ever find that out.
Nope, I don't have the information. It's just 800 employees. They both they released a joint statement. The hospital and the workers' union said the contract was tentatively agreed upon, and then it was overwhelmingly ratified.
I had to go to the campus when they were like at the height of the strike. It was amazing. They had cops
everywhere,
all over the place. The strikers were all in there. I think they were purple T-shirts that they were wearing. They were very orderly. They let my mother and I in. It was nice.
Well, you're the patient,
no problem, right?
So okay,
not like we were doing anything bad, but it was just there's a lot of people there.
Yeah,
outside that entrance on Blackstone Boulevard.
Did you see them? Were they yelling at the other workers that were going in, or anything like that?
And you could feel when you went in the building that the people that were in there were kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a different vibe than when we've been before. It's like these are my friends outside here, and I'm in here, and that's not great.
All right. The new ownership of the Boston Celtics has taken hold. William
Chisholm.
Yeah, William Chisholm.
7 something
everybody had to
billion
agree
dollars.
to it, and they finally have.
Okay.
The investment group took control of the Celtics this morning. Actually, this was yesterday morning. The NBA's Board of Governors approved the $6.1 billion sale last week. Chisholm is a Massachusetts native who grew up in Georgetown and graduated from Dartmouth College. He said the new ownership is committed to building the legacy of the Celtics and raising more banners.
And making more money.
And making more money is what it
that's why you
comes down to.
$6 or $7 billion.
We'll see when he starts seeing a return on that investment, right?
Man.
All right, break time on Coffee In. Time for a look at the forecast brought to us by Unbound.org.
An 80% chance of rain this afternoon, high of 66, calm wind, up to a quarter of an inch of rain is possible. Tonight, 80% chance of rain continues. Rain could be heavy at times overnight with 1 to 2 inches of rain possible. Patchy fog after 3 a.m., overnight low of 56. Thursday's weather mostly cloudy with a high of 69. We could still have another quarter of an inch of rain on Thursday, with northeast winds kicking up to 25 miles per hour and a high of 69. Friday's weather mostly sunny and 78. Saturday, sunshine and 82. Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. Monday, showers are likely, mostly cloudy with a high of 79. And on Tuesday, sunshine and 78.
It is outside the Navigant Credit Union. broadcast studio. We got cloudy skies, temperature reading of 61 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. Very good. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of
I'd like to be a dentist.
community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States? A colonoscopy is the best way to detect colon cancer, but there are other tests available to detect it early. If you're 45 or older or have a family history of colorectal cancer, talk to your healthcare provider. Don't die of embarrassment. Get screened for colorectal cancer. Learn more at health.ri.gov/CRC. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
ON Radio. Feel the spirit.
All right, Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Tim Draper. And guess what, Tim? Time for first message from Navigant Credit Union.
All right. Well, if you have a business out there and you're looking for cash management service solutions, we are happy to assist you in that manner. Our new cash management services department has been helping folks now for about a year and a half in a formal manner. We've always had cash management services, but now everything's been formalized into a nice little program that'll help you run your business and help you kind of take away the pain in the neck of running a small business. We can help you with lots of those services that you're normally bogged down trying to manage. And if there's anything that we can do for you, you certainly can give us a call at 233-4700 and ask to speak to somebody in cash management department. Or if you just want to read a little bit more about what that is, you can go to navigantcu.org into our business services page and learn all about cash management from Navigant Credit Union.
All right, Tim. Thanks. All right, this is there's so much wrong going on with this story out of Massachusetts. 16-year-old boy charged operating under the influence. 1.
16-year-old.
16, operating under the influence. Gets into a crash in Marblehead, Massachusetts. 2, probably caused the crash. 3, killed a 13-year-old girl who was in the car. In the car. In Massachusetts.
Did he have a license? At 16 in Mass?
It doesn't say he doesn't. You got to be 16 and a half to get your license in Massachusetts. However, you cannot
drive at night.
You cannot drive someone younger than you unless it's a family member. So it's a bizarre law that they have in Massachusetts. It doesn't say if the girl's related or not. But anyway, she dies. The crash happened 3 a.m. in the morning. Why are they
16,
out?
Drunk, 3 a.m. in the morning.
13-year-olds
Where are
out
the parents?
too. Why drunk and you're out?
Where are the parents?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's the problem.
Yeah. She dies at the scene. The 16-year-old is not identified because he's 16. He was taken to the hospital with unspecified injuries. No other information about the case is available because of the juvenile status of the suspect.
So will he be tried as a juvenile, found guilty as a juvenile, and then only have to spend a short period of time in jail, even for killing somebody? Or will he, or the punishments for juvenile match the punishments for somebody who would be of age?
No, I think it's the former.
Yeah.
That
was the whole thing about Craig Price years ago, was that he was a juvenile when he killed those.
Yeah, that family.
Yeah, family in Warwick. And then when he hit 21, he was like, okay, I'm ready to come out. Everybody went, nope.
Yeah. So first I thought, when you read it, I thought he hit the girl and the girl was like standing on the corner kind of thing. But the way you read it in between the lines, it looks like she's in the car. So
because I would also have a question about what's a 13-year-old doing out of 3 in the morning, walking.
Well, that would be another question too. But what are they both doing? So
lots wrong with that story.
And that's what I started with. There was so much wrong going here. Up in keeping in Massachusetts in Brockton, and this is gonna sound so close to what took place at Cumberland High School a few months ago. when the band director had to resign.
Yeah.
Brockton High School's choral director has been arrested on charges accusing him of paying for underage boy for sex.
Jeez.
Now that's not quite what happened in Cumberland.
No.
Kind of, little bit close, but not quite. Matthew Cunningham was arrested yesterday at his Brockton home on charges of trafficking a person for sexual servitude and sexual conduct for a fee. He was arraigned yesterday in Brockton District Court. Bail set at $25,000 cash. He'll be back in court on September 18th.
What is wrong with people?
That's back to what's wrong with what's wrong
What
with
is wrong
people.
with this situation? What is wrong
Yeah.
with people?
So I don't know. It's just
Not exactly a good career move.
No.
no, because you're probably not going to get hired anymore, especially not with the school system. The Republic Service strike goes on and on in Massachusetts.
Is it the trash collector?
Not
Oh,
picking
yeah?
up the trash.
The trash?
Yeah,
How are the public defenders doing? I forgot to look on that one.
you know they were offered a raise, and they didn't like how much they were getting. So, but then I never
I
heard
haven't
after
seen a story
that.
about whether or not they're back defending people.
Yeah,
Or I haven't read about them being new cases being dismissed either. So
haven't heard either way.
no.
So, but no negotiation of the plan as the strike by the crash collection company goes on. Today's the 50th day of the strike.
So what are people doing with their trash? Are they bringing it to the dump? Is that what's happening? You have to bring your own trash somewhere,
I guess you could do that. You have to pay for it, I guess.
or you just stacking
They're
it
just
up on the
stacking
street?
it up on the street.
And where is this?
Outside Boston, like the suburbs of
Just
Boston.
no particular town, just a series of towns.
Yeah, wherever they have their contract.
You could do the New
It
York
does
City,
say
you could do the New York City style back in the '80s, where they just let the trash accumulate on
You
the
just
street
pile it up,
corner.
man.
Pile it up
it-
until somebody picks it up.
it does say it's impacting over a dozen Massachusetts communities. The workers want better wages, benefits, labor protection. The strike has caused issues in Massachusetts communities, mostly on the North Shore.
I'll tell you. Who's loving this?
Rockport.
The rats. The rats
Sure,
are loving
that's
this.
great. About 400 of the company's Massachusetts workers are on strike. So, and it goes on and on. So I don't know. So
At least that stuff doesn't happen in Rhode Island.
what? Strikes?
It strikes.
No. Maybe they're trying to match Butler Hospital in the amount of the time that they're on strike. Okay. Rob Gronkowski
Yes.
was in town. Well, not our town, but he was up in Boston.
Yep.
On hand as the Gronk Playground was open on Boston's Charles River Esplanade.
Well, there you go.
$2 million playground. $2 million. It's going to be a great playground.
Tell you what, that doesn't buy you a lot of playground
No?
toys and stuff because those are expensive.
$2 million playground funded by the Gronk Nation Youth Foundation, opened yesterday, is fully ADA accessible. It features a football-shaped climbing structure and a slide, along with miniaturized sized versions of Boston landmarks and a life-size statue of Gronkowski. Put himself there. Governor Maura Healey and Patriots owner Robert Kraft also attended yesterday's grand opening celebration. I'm sure the kids loved it.
Well, did you hear what he said? He said
What,
he
Rob?
wants,
No.
wants to sign a one-day contract with the Patriots so he can retire a Patriot.
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea, and I hope
do
Dick Kraft does it.
I hope he does it too.
Right.
Because
It
it's
was
been
what
done
Tom
before.
Brady should have done too, by the way.
They should have done it.
One
You're
day
right.
contract
They
and
might
then
do
just
it
retire.
together for one game, maybe.
I don't know. He doesn't have to
Maybe.
play,
Don't-
right? He can
don't-
sign the
No,
contract.
you don't even
and
play.
Then, yeah.
Put them in for one play, take them out.
Well, that's it.
Done.
You do it in the off season.
Yeah.
Even on a day that there's not a game, and we're done.
Yeah.
Like August 27th.
Yep.
There we go.
And then here's
And
the
you-
contract. They make a big deal about it. A lot
Yeah.
of PR, a lot of press. Everybody feels good. It's Rob
But
coming
you know
back.
something? I'll bet you if it was Brady and Gronk, they wouldn't settle for just that. They'd want to go into a real game for one play.
Maybe we're just going to
And
go
then-
in and take the first snap. That would be awesome. Let the other team see if the other team jumps after them, or whether they just kind of let them go.
You know, I looked at Tom when he was at the unveiling of a statue. Boy, he looks like he could still play.
He does.
does.
Just in perfect shape.
He's like,
my
man.
gosh.
Gronkowski's no slouch.
No,
either.
he's a monster as well.
I mean, he couldn't go a duration, I'm sure.
No,
Because,
it's-
I remember when he first retired and then came back, he had to work hard to get himself back
Right.
into game shape. So it is hard, but if all he has to do is go into one play and block somebody, and then it's over. And he's out.
just take him out. All right. John, I heard something at the city council meeting. Just reiterate it for me, if I got it right. Do do restaurants now have to have all? Is it just restaurants or everybody have to have their trash
Contained.
containers contained?
Yeah. Well,
You gotta put a
it's
fence
always-
around-
It's
fence around 'em?
always it's always been the case that I remember when I was growing up that if you had a dumpster, you had to enclose it in a fenced area.
Okay. Oh, that's always been the rule.
Yeah, I think it has been, but it's been
ignored then.
like so many rules. You know, if I were to count for you the number of cars I see parked left wheels to curb, most people my age know you can't park your car left wheels to the curb, except on a one-way street where it's designated. But it seems to be common these days. People just do it. They park too close to the corners. They just do it. Commercial vehicles all over the city, parked overnight on the street. It's against the law. Dumpsters left open with the covers open. You know, I think if you leave it outside of an enclosed area, maybe it's allowed. I don't think it is, but you'd have
Okay.
to have it locked
Okay.
and closed.
Enclosed.
Now they leave them open. There's garbage all over the
All over the
sides.
place.
It goes everywhere, and I think that's what the complaint was about. Is that you drive around the city and there's dumpsters everywhere that just have trash all
Well,
around
that
them.
was happening over here in Park Square,
Park Square.
where the trash was flying out all over.
Well, you have
Our trash is
actually
fenced.
behind
Is it? Okay. Well, good. Thanks, Tim.
in the parking lot, the back of the parking lot where D'Angelo's is.
Yeah.
There is an enclosure for dumpsters, and then there's a dumpster
Outside the enclosure. Well, that's brilliant.
So when it was built properly, but then they added another dumpster. When you go to Dunkin' Donuts next door, they have a dumpster that's in an enclosure. And that's the way it's supposed to be. When I worked, like I said,
All right.
when I worked at McDonald's in Walnut Hill, Woonsocket Plaza, behind there, what is now the registry, at the back, you had a dock, a loading dock for the trucks.
Yeah.
And just on the other side of it, you had a bricked area and the dumpster and a fence.
Do we have a
It's just
compactor?
the way it was.
Do we have a,
No.
do we have a compactor there for you to throw the boxes in and it crushes them? I thought we had a compactor
At a McDonald's?
At McDonald's.
Where?
Woonsocket. You're McDonald's. I worked there too.
At Woonsocket McDonald's?
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
I worked for Roger
Did you-
Picard. He was my manager.
Oh, I trained Roger Picard.
We
When
did
he
a fine
first-
job
the
because he was a
first
great
day-
manager.
First day he came to work. But no, I didn't. I don't remember a compactor. They may have added one.
Do you
thought
do you
they had-
think it's gonna now they've reiterated
my last
this?
experience with a cardboard compactor was at Almax.
No.
Now that they've reiterated that they have to be enclosed, do you think anything's gonna come of it?
No.
Well,
No.
that depends upon whether or not an inspector from the city. I don't think it's a police officer's job, except maybe as they drive around to report it to an inspector. I don't know how much communication there is between police officers in the car, back to the office, back to a building inspector's or health someone to get out there and enforce it and write citations. But yeah, it should be, just like, as I said, for all of my complaining about commercial, and I'm talking box trucks and things
Yeah.
like that. If you drive around the city in the middle of the night, which is not something I normally do, but if you ever did that around this city, you would find many, many streets where you'll see box trucks parked on the side of the street because they don't want to pay for a parking space, or they don't have an off-street parking space, and they just park next to the sidewalk, and it's against the law. Because
All right.
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they're so big.
I'll have you know, I did get a parking ticket in the city of Woonsocket on Getchell Avenue,
Really?
left wheels to the curb.
You did?
This is about 38 years ago.
Oh, I mean back when the station was there?
Yeah, when the station was on there, and I didn't have room in the parking
That was probably me calling
garage,
you
and I'm like,
complaining.
well, it was nighttime,
So
who's
left wheels to the curb is if you're going up a road, you cross the lane and
Yes.
park that way.
Yeah, and you're facing the wrong way.
Wrong way.
Well, if he was coming from Ninth Street and he was going to the station was on the left.
On the
so
left,
you just
yeah.
pull up and park the car.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
And there was no sidewalk there.
No, there
It
wasn't.
was just grass.
Yeah.
And so you pull up and you park there, and that's left wheels to the curb, and it's illegal.
And I got like a $30 ticket.
Yeah.
Of course, I was younger, obviously, but I didn't know it was illegal.
But there's two cars.
What?
On,
You can't
I
do this?
forgot our robbery was
one
illegal.
street over me.
That's
from
right.
me, there's two cars that regularly are parked left wheels to the curb every day.
And no citation, nothing. All right.
I don't know if it's that they just don't care, too lazy to actually stop and write the ticket, or a warning, or what the deal is. But I know patrol cars come around, and yet they ignore it.
Wow.
Maybe they just don't know the law.
Maybe. 'Cause I was oblivious to it at the time until I got the ticket. What do we have a ticket for? Everything's fine. And I'm like, left wheels to the curb? That's
somebody who-
wrong?
There's
I remember
a
that
trainee
being in the
cop
book
that just
when I was
read
taking
the
my
rule.
training for driving training. It was part of the book.
I'm sure it was.
I mean,
It's
it's
just, you know,
like-
you try to remember everything. And
It's
a
like
little tough.
they just approved stop signs on every cross street up
Okay.
Mason Street, and I scream when I see that because there's a presumption of your requirement to stop at a three-way stop if you are at the cross street. Period, because there's no going straight, so you have to turn, so you must stop.
Yes.
You shouldn't need a stop sign,
You go cranking around that corner on
But-
two wheels.
but people do it.
Yeah.
People get killed because people do it.
Sure.
And that's why we got to put stop signs. I guess that falls into the category of we can't have nice things because of people like that. But people just, I don't know if they're not reading the books when they get them about how to drive, but those are the basic rules. When, like, you come to an intersection, a four-way intersection, you all have stop signs. You stop, the car that got there at the same time to your right, who goes first?
guy on the right.
It's simple. The guy to your right.
Yeah.
Height
I
of
can't,
way.
Right.
I
That's-
can't count the number of times they'll sit there, and I'm going to call them this right on the radio. They're dopes. They'll sit there and wait for you, and then they'll wave
Then they'll
you
wave
through.
you on.
Yeah.
And I just want to wave back
But
with
it's
a
you-
one-finger
you got the
salute
right of way.
because they're so stupid. They don't know the basic rules of the road, and it drives me crazy.
All right. Calm down, John. We're going to take a break here, okay?
I gotta follow
I'm an
that.
AG.
I gotta follow that.
Time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. Hey, it's back to school time for our youngsters, and if you're looking to help them with their on their financial journey, and you'd like an account to set them up with that will teach them the importance of having money in the account and saving, but certainly how to spend correctly and make sure that you're managing and maintaining your finances correctly, then they should look at our Embark account. If Melissa was here, she would tell you that her girls have the Embark account from Navigant Credit Union. It allows young folks 13 to 22. Basically, you get a free account. Free. It's a checking account, but we call it a spend account because there are no checks involved in this account. There's e-statements. They get online banking access. They get a debit card. Parents have control as well, dual control over the debit card, so they can help assist in teaching good spending habits. And there's also some financial education programs available online that your kids can work with, and you can also set a budget up with the money management tool in the online banking platform. So, lots to take advantage of in the Embark account. It's a super good account for those kids that are 13 to 22, and we encourage you to come into the branch, talk to the staff. If you don't want to come into the branch and you want to do it online, you can certainly open that account online as well. Then you will have to have a parent as a co-signer. But that's the important part about it, is parents helping you manage your money. So if you're out there and you want to do that, please visit navigantcu.org or give us a call at 233-4700 and ask about the Embark account.
All right, Tim, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue here on ON, AM, and FM.
First news, best music. You're tuned to ON
Actual price will
Radio.
depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
WOON Woonsocket Radio.
It's Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callion here with John Ward and Tim Draper. So this is I find this an amusing story. It's not too amusing for the person involved in the story, but it took place in Boston. A woman is suing a bar in Boston's Seaport District over injuries she says were caused by a taxidermy deer head that fell off the wall.
Well, mount that deer head better.
I think she's got a case.
Yeah.
Well, she probably does. Catherine Hawley said the falling display at Lucky's Lounge struck her in the head October of 2022, causing injuries, forced her to miss work.
Just think, it's got a big antler, big rack on its
Yeah.
head.
Hallie is seeking payment for her medical bills for the bar, along with money to replace her lost wages. Doesn't say exactly how much
gonna
she's
win.
looking for. But imagine sitting in the bar,
Yeah.
having a good time, and this thing crashes
I
on
just
your
wanna-
head.
I just want to know how many people in the bar at the time looked at it happen and say, "Oh dear."
Probably said, we got to get the deer back up on the wall.
Yeah.
It probably had one of those funny hats on and sunglasses, like it's having a good time. So, all right, so that's what took place at Lucky's Lounge. Just be
I guess it wasn't very lucky for the
They're going to
people
change
in
the name to
lounge.
Unlucky's Lounge.
don't sit under the heads that are
Right.
attached to the
Or
wall.
don't put a head over the table.
All right,
You
just
don't have to go to the head here. Just have the head come to you.
be warned. The FDA is warning the public about eating certain great value raw frozen shrimp sold at some Walmart stores around the country.
It's radioactive.
It's radioactive. The agency issued the warning after a Customs and Border Protection alerted the agency about possible cesium-137 contamination, a radioactive isotope from shipping containers.
But they confiscated that container, so it didn't go anywhere. So I don't know why. With
Frozen-
all the other shrimp, is this an issue from the factory?
Frozen shrimp from the distributor has tested positive.
But
Okay.
it's where did it come from?
But the FTC, well, I don't know. The
Country.
FDA says no shrimp that has tested positive has entered the U.S. food supply. The product is sold at Walmart stores in more than a dozen states.
It doesn't say where it
Doesn't
comes
say
from.
where it's come from.
But I will tell you,
But where did the exposure to the cesium? But,
the
where did
root-
it come to? Where did it come from?
The route that it took to
container
get
or
here.
The fish directly, or
well,
what?
that's what I'm wondering. But the logistics to get that container here was like through 3 different countries. I'm like, good heavens, that thing is
I'm just
traveled
wondering
all
though,
over
is
the
it in the shrimp itself, or was the shrimp exposed to something radioactive that put it there, or was it coming from the ocean?
It just says
radioactive?
contamination, so it could be laying right on top of the shrimp. Maybe it's on top of the packaging. It could get on the shrimp. I don't know. Just buyer beware when you're going after
Great.
the raw shrimp.
Well, I would be more comfortable if I knew where it came from.
Okay.
And how it was contaminated, because that tells you whether there's a risk that this can happen in more cases, or whether it's a one-off that has to do with what else was shipped in that particular container, or what.
If it comes from the Forrest Gump, Bubba
Bubba
Gump
Gump
Shrimp
Shrimp
Company, I'd
Company.
be fine with it. Coming from down there in Mississippi.
Nearly a third of businesses are likely to increase prices by the end of the year. A new report by LendingTree found that more than 30% of businesses surveyed said they expect their prices will be higher in 6 months than they are now, while only 5% said their prices will go down and 65% said their prices will remain steady. LendingTree's report also found that businesses in Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Montana, Washington, Oregon, and Vermont will most likely to say they expect to increase prices in the coming months.
Well, have you ever had a survey where somebody said their prices aren't going to increase or they're going to go down? I don't think I've ever heard a survey say
think
that.
This one had it where some said 5% said they're going to go down.
I think there's a tariff impact that hasn't hit yet. That's
Yeah.
up to. I saw an article this morning about Target getting hit with tariff impact that they're going to struggle with. I saw that what the governor doesn't want to admit is that we are going into a recession in Rhode Island right now. He reported employment numbers where there were, he said, 700 new jobs created.
They were all government jobs.
No, 600 new jobs created, but as it turns out, 700 new jobs were all government jobs, which means in the private sector they actually lost jobs.
Yeah.
And that though unemployment is steady, the participation rate is shrinking. So there's fewer people working, less jobs in private industry, more jobs in government, and there's a Rhode Island Public Expenditure Council report out this morning about the budget and the fact that it is with all of the federal money disappearing, we've had somewhat of a large increase in local spending, but the local revenue, state revenue, is not keeping up with the state spending out of the general fund, which means we've gone from 200 plus structural deficits in the future to 400 plus structural deficits. So I say that within 5 months you will be hearing about not just the recession. You will be hearing about price increases and inflationary pressures. You will be hearing about the governor dropping out of the race. You will be hearing about the General Assembly probably having to reconvene in the fall, although nobody said anything about it. They have talked about what might happen in September or October, and I think they're going to have to do it to find a way to make up for the fact that they have, though participation in Medicaid in Rhode Island is down according to the RIPEC report, the spending has increased astronomically, and with the loss of some federal funds for the operational method programs in Medicaid, there's going to be a need to either raise money or change the rules, and so that's the General Assembly's job. And then with the SNAP benefit reductions that are going to be coming, there will be much wailing and gnashing of teeth and wringing of hands across the state.
All right.
With all of the progressives saying we're evil people, that it's all Trump's fault, and we need to raise your taxes on millionaires to pay for this.
Did you hear MSNBC is changing their name?
MS Now.
MS Now. And the Now stands for News, Opinion, World or Word? I forget what the W stands for. And they're breaking away.
So they're finally telling you that they're an opinion.
We're going to give you their opinion. And they're breaking away from NBC News.
Yeah.
So it will be what they've already been doing. It
they're
will be
actually-
all opinion
They're
on what
actually-
they're doing.
They're actually slicing off several companies to
Yes.
become an independent company.
There's a new company
That'll
called
be a
Versant.
publicly traded company.
Sci-Fi, CNBC are all going to that new company. So
Yeah.
there's a
Owned
lot
by
of-
Universal?
5 years to bankruptcy.
Well, there's a CEO for this new company called Versant. So
Yeah.
Have they started using MS Now? Have you looked?
No, but they've talked about it a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So that's coming. So
I actually, out of deference to our more liberal panel members from time to time, will actually make a point of listening to Joe Scarborough in the morning as I come here.
still on the morning Joe.
Yes.
All right. Well, sad news: 40,000 pounds of ribeye steaks went up in flames on a
they cooked it?
Missouri highway.
Oh,
Eben should grab some. Grab a fork. Let's go. Get this off the street.
well done, huh?
Well,
Fork and a
it
knife.
was well done. Smoke could be seen billowing from the burning tractor trailer, and it led to a highway's eastbound lanes being temporarily closed to traffic because they're out there having
Boy, I
a
bet
meal.
that smelled good.
Oh, I bet it did.
Nothing like a good ribeye.
The
Blue cheese butter. Oh,
This
yeah.
is the Doolittle Rural Fire Protection District
Oh boy.
in Phelps County, Missouri.
Just the name, the Doolittle.
Confirmed the blaze on a Facebook post and shared that it had extinguished a, quote, a well-involved commercial vehicle fire. Fire officials also
That's
noted
where the sparrows and the bunny rabbits come out with their hoses to put out the fire.
Fire officials also noted that the charred steaks won't make it to the dinner table. They're considered a total loss. But wow.
But the fire chief is a human talking to them.
But 40,000 pounds.
Yeah, those
That's
firefighters ate well that night.
That's a lot of meat.
That is a lot of meat.
And it doesn't say how it went up in flames and like that. It's like they're still investigating that accident on 146 where the person died over the weekend. Just, crashed through the guardrail, hit a tree.
Were they flying
burst-
down the road or something?
They just say he lost control.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying right now.
It's interesting all the people that ran towards the fire to try to help. And
Yeah.
Based on the
fire is just-
distance after impact off the road and stuff,
Yeah.
they should be able to tell whether it's speeding or if it's a medical event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just haven't come.
If it's not excessive speed, it's probably a medical situation.
They haven't announced who the driver was either, right?
Yeah, they have.
Oh.
42-year-old man out of Providence.
Could be a
Michael
one-
McConnell. I think it's Michael
Could be a
McConnell.
one and done heart attack.
Could be,
Yeah,
and
aneurysm, anything.
lost control, crashed the guardrail, hit a tree, burst in a flame.
Ouch.
So and you're right, and died at the scene. Obviously, he just couldn't get out, and just by the time the fire gets there to put the fire out, as Tim and I know, fire is hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Yeah.
It
If you're
is
not in
just-
protective gear,
you are just
you're not going to last a
you
long time.
cannot get close.
I went to was driving my son to the airport at 4:30 one morning on 295, and right at the Mendon Road exit, just after the exit, there was a truck on the side of the road, as they call it, fully engulfed.
Fully involved.
From the front of the truck to the whole trailer.
Yeah. Yep.
Nothing but flame. The guy was out. He was
Watching it.
watching it. And the police were there, and the fire trucks were coming.
All right.
But I moved. He was in the breakdown lane. I moved all the way over to the left edge near the guardrail, close as I could get. and the heat was coming
still
through the
feel it.
closed windows.
Right, you could still
and it was
feel
like,
it.
if we stay here, we're going to cook.
Yeah.
That's how
It's
hot
that
those
bad.
things get.
All right, that'll wrap it up for
Impressive.
the show for today. Thank you very much for listening. Always appreciated. We believe Melissa Smith will join us next week on the Wednesday portion of
Well,
the
let's
Coffee
hope
and
so.
program. Let's hope so. And Tim Draper, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, Joe, for having me. Thanks, fellas.
All right. And John Ward, thanks
And
for
I
being
hope
here.
Melissa had a good time doing whatever she was doing today instead
Mm-hmm.
of being here. But we miss her, and we'll look forward to her coming back. And everybody enjoy this brief interlude from the sunny weather and enjoy the God-given day.
This is the hurricane we're getting.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, and stay off the rocks down on the surf.
off the rocks.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, morons. Stay
Stay
off the
off the
rocks.
rocks.
Hey, morons.
All right. I'm Joe Callahan. We'll talk again today at 2 o'clock. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember is coming up after the 9 o'clock news on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio. I'm Michael Cass.